What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today we are going through our Jets news dump. So we go Robert Saleh's press conferences. The biggest storylines from this one. We got DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner fully back. We get Dalvin Cook frustrated, and we also get some other news on some key injuries that aren't Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. This video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Make sure to sign up using my promo code. Link is in the description of the video and the pinned comment, and they are doing a match deposit bonus, 100% match deposit bonus up to $500. So that means input 500 using my code, and they will give you 500 if you use my code to sign up to $500. Okay, here are my 3 plays this week. Number 1 is Breece Hall higher than 60.5 rushing yards. I think the Jets will lean on Breece Hall in this game. The New York Giants defense struggles against the run, and I think he has a big day. As for Zach Wilson, I like his rushing yardage over as well. He didn't hit it this past time out against the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think he tucks one and runs for a big gain in this one. I think he's sitting somewhere around 30 rushing yards in this game. I think he uses his legs a little bit more. And then finally, you have Patrick Mahomes. He is taking on the Denver Broncos. I have higher on 271.5 passing yards. He's cleared that each of the last 3 weeks. And the first time these two teams played this year, he went for 306 yards. As we know, the Denver Broncos do not have a very good defense. I think Patrick Mahomes goes over this number. So let's see what a $10 play could yield up to $60. So 3 correct pays up to $60. It's that simple. Make sure to get in on the fun over at Underdog Fantasy with my code linked down below. Ah, yes, the fantastic news we've all been waiting for. DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner cleared from concussion protocol. They will play against the New York Giants on Sunday.
You guys want to know about the 2 DBs? DJ and Sauce have cleared concussion protocol, so they're good to go.
Welcome back, both of those guys. They were missed against the Philadelphia Eagles, although I am proud of guys like Craig James and Bryce Hall and Tay Hayes, all those guys for holding down the fort. With all due respect to those guys, DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner is a very, very, very good corner duo. Very good. One of the best in football. And if you add in Michael Carter II in the slot, that is a corner trio that I don't know if I'm taking any other team's corner trio over those guys, if I'm going to be honest with you. So I know that the New York Giants don't have like this stellar passing offense, and you know, it's probably going to be Tyrod Taylor this week. It hasn't been an official announcement yet, but more than likely will be Tyrod Taylor starting in this game. And he has a little bit better of a deep ball than Daniel Jones. And their offense has honestly looked a little bit better against, or with rather, Tyrod Taylor than with the Daniel Jones experience. So I'm actually kind of glad that they're getting the corners back in this one, because they might be able to push the ball down the field a little bit more. But even still, right, like throw out opponent out the window. You want these guys back and healthy. For Reed, it's been a couple of games now for DJ Reed. Against the Broncos, he was out, and also against the Philadelphia Eagles. And for Sauce Gardner, everyone just assumed that it was going to be a week, just an illness. And then he ends up being a concussion, and that was a surprise. But both guys are back, and that is something that is a very warm welcome back. We are all happy to see both those guys back out there. And it doesn't stop there with the injury news. The next thing that we really have to get into here is Joe Tippmann, which he has been ruled out. So not surprising for that one. After the injury in the game against Philadelphia, it felt like this was going to be something where he would miss a few weeks. And then after the bye week, Robert Saleh comes back and says, hey, this guy's a quick healer. He has a chance to play this week. Doesn't practice at all, and then is eventually ruled out. So probably a little bit of gamesmanship in there, but I'm still hoping for good news with Joe Tippmann, that hopefully it's not too long and not a season-ending injury, which that would be a real bummer, because he was playing at a really high level at right guard, and I like watching Joe Tippmann out there. And you know, going from Joe Tippmann and AVT to Wes Schweitzer and Max Mitchell is a really big difference, and that's who will start this week for the New York Jets. It'll be Wes Schweitzer, who I thought was okay when filling in. Had a really tough task going up against one of the league's best defensive lines in the Philadelphia Eagles. He did have a penalty and got beat pretty badly a couple of times, but all in all, I thought was okay, and I expect him to be a little bit better this week. Is he ever going to be a stud, a star? No. Is he a serviceable offensive lineman? I think so. And also Billy Turner, who was playing a lot of left and right tackle during training camp with the ones with no Mekhi Becton and Dwayne Brown initially. He has gotten some reps at guard, which is a position that he played with the Green Bay Packers when Nathaniel Hackett was there as well. So he could play right guard in a pinch. I would imagine that he would, if anything, God forbid, happened to Wes Schweitzer, next man up would end up being would be Billy Turner. And honestly, I probably trust him a little bit more on the inside at guard than I do at tackle. So that's okay. And another one that is relatively surprising and relatively impactful is Irv Charles. He's only been activated the last 2 games, but has made 2 mega plays on special teams in both of those games. He has been a great special teamer. He is doubtful for this game, so probably not going to go for the New York Jets against the New York Giants on Sunday, which would be a really big loss in this game. If for whatever reason he is unable to go, again, that would be a really big loss in this one. And then finally, Robert Saleh spoke about Dalvin Cook and his frustrations. Now, I do have a full-length video on this coming out later today. I actually recorded that one, and then we got I was going to upload it, and then we got the news, the press conference where he talked about Reed and Sauce Gardner back. So I was going to switch up the order a little bit. Talk about that one because that's the biggest story of the day, is the return of DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. But he being Robert Saleh, was asked about Dalvin Cook and his frustration, and he said that it's normal, that he's a competitor and that he would be taken back if he wasn't frustrated with the lack of playing time because the guy's a competitor and he's still a good force in the locker room, and we'll see what happens. And I'll save most of my my rant. I don't know if I'll even call it a rant, but my thoughts on the Dalvin Cook situation in that video that'll drop later this afternoon. But for now, Robert Saleh doesn't seem to have an issue with it. He's never going to throw anyone under the bus, as we know, at the press conferences. So even if he did have a problem with it, he wouldn't be one to go up there and say that he had a problem with it. So I don't expect Dalvin Cook to be used that much this week. That'll be what I say. I think Breece Hall has a big game, hence why I'm using him in my Underdog Fantasy lineup referenced earlier in the video. I think Breece Hall has a really big day. I think he is definitely someone who could get up 18 plus carries in this game and probably be a factor in the receiving game again, like what he was in Philadelphia against Philadelphia. So I, for one, am looking forward to watching Breece Hall against this Giants defense. I'm going to guess Dalvin Cook gets somewhere between 3 and 5 carries. I don't think he's going to, be a squeaky wheel gets the oil and somehow rush 10 times in this game. That'd be pretty surprising if you ask me. So I'll say 3 to 5 carries for Dalvin Cook, 18 to 20 carries for Breece Hall, and the Jets will throw the ball with Wilson 28 times, something like that, just a tad under 30 in this game. So those are the biggest storylines from Robert Saleh's press conference. Let me know your thoughts on Saleh's presser down below in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, give the video a like before you go, and I'll catch you next time.